church. You know,
That is the church.
some is called to be teacher, some is called to be,
Right.
you know, we are the legs, we are the feet.
Right.
You know, basically what I'm saying is, what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
is that, you know, if some do a little here, some do a little here, right? We need all parts. And
All parts, all
yeah,
gifts.
all gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And walks of life. And I say that because sometimes there's a lot of times I should say, there's a lot of people who feel like, well, I don't really have a gift, or I really don't have a talent, or I really don't have, you know.
Right.
But maybe they have a specific circumstance in their life that they can give to the church. You know?
Oh, exactly. Well, first of all, we know from Scripture everybody has a gift or gifts. Mm-hmm. They may not have discovered them yet or discerned them, but they're there.
Okay.
And one of the ways God brings those out and makes us aware of our gifting is by putting us in circumstances where we can use our gifting. And many times that happens without the person consciously thinking, well, this is my gift and I'm using it. Let me give you one example. A big part of expanded influence will be our congregants interacting with people who don't know Jesus, listening to their stories, because listening always feels like love and concern. And where appropriate, and as the Spirit guides, planting the seed of the gospel, sharing a good word about Jesus, what we like to call gossiping the gospel. Everybody in our congregation has interactions with other human beings who need to experience the love of God, who need to experience God in a listening ear, who need to experience God through somebody just paying attention to them. Because a lot of people feel invisible,
Right.
forgotten, unimportant, overlooked,
Right.
marginalized. And when somebody stops and listens and says something like, well, can I pray about that? Or I will pray about that. When they share Jesus briefly, appropriately, because remember, you don't have to go from Genesis to Revelation in one conversation.
Right, right.
Well, that expands the influence of the church
Right.
into the lives of people who currently haven't known God's influence in that way. So, again, it's not huge time commitments. It's not always volunteering in a position that we identify, lead teacher in a third grade class or a greeter in the welcoming ministry. A lot of ministry can be, to use a popular term, organic. Just as you walk through life and God brings people across your path.
That's true.
And you speak a word. I talked to a woman 2 weeks ago, came to me after the fourth service. Her sister had been inviting her to ACAC for years.
Okay.
Simple action that takes, 10 seconds? She finally came.
Okay.
And she met Jesus in a profound way.
Wow.
And I was able to pray with her. And she's applying for membership. And God spoke to her through the message about things she was wrestling with.
Right.
All that started with what? An invitation.
Right.
Not a sermon,
Right.
not a prepared lesson, a simple, hey, let me invite you to my church.
Right.